Hello, YouTubers. I'm Angela Logan, and this is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. It is Friday, October 25th, 2019, and I'm bringing you warm greetings from the High 10, better known as East Tennessee. Thanks so much for joining me. I want to give you an update on Camille McKinney, aka Cupcake Update. I probably will be saying her name, real name, government name, more than the nickname that was given to her. I just feel like maybe saying her name, people can identify with this child more if I said her name more. So her name, the victim in this case, is Camille McKinney, and I'm going to give you an update that's deriving out of Birmingham, Alabama. Now, some of you have been following the story, some of you have not. So I'm giving you a whole article that's going to backtrack from the time arrest to the abduction of Miss McKinney. This story is deriving out of Birmingham, Alabama, and this is a statement given by the Jefferson County DA. On Thursday, yesterday, the Jefferson County DA charged Patrick Devon Stallworth and Derek Irisha Brown with capital murder of a victim less than 14 years of age. No bond will be given in this case for each suspect. Note that the investigation is continuing. Please take a note of that. For those of you who have so much commentary to give on this case, know that the investigation is still ongoing. Okay, each are facing the death penalty in this case. Danny Carr, the DA, says that if appropriate, we will seek additional charges on both. We refuse to stop with prosecution. No, excuse me. I take that. Excuse me. I'm reading too fast. We refuse to stop until the prosecution is completely upheld and light of day is limited to 1 hour for both. So basically what they're saying is most people who get or receive the death penalty once found guilty, they get 1 hour a day to roam once they are incarcerated. Okay. Camille's body was found in a Santec dumpster that had been parked near the Centerpoint Apartments where both the suspects lived. Okay. The dumpster was transferred to a landfill near Warrior where police and FBI agents recovered the body and pronounced her dead at 5:16 p.m. of this week. Okay? So, they exhausted a 10-day search. Backtrack. Day of abduction, which was Saturday, October 12th, 2019, 8:30 p.m. At the Tom Brown housing complex off Messer Airport Highway, Camille was with her mother, April Thomas, and other family members at a birthday party in a parking lot off of 41st Place North. Now, mind you, I don't know where this information is coming from. This is new information that April and relatives were at this birthday party because it has been repeated through people who attended the party. The mother was nowhere to be found. But this is what is repeated in this article, so we'll discuss that later. Okay. Children say that a man got out of an SUV and put Camille inside of the car. Police set up a command post a couple of blocks from the abduction site. 3.5 hours after she was discovered missing, the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency issued an Amber Alert. The police went door to door the next day, handing out flyers and her picture, and a picture with a store surveillance of the person who they deemed as a person of interest in this case. And the picture was taken from a surveillance camera at a Shell station that is near the housing complex. And also in this flyer, I guess, that they handed out, they also gave the picture of the suspect and a description of the vehicle, which was a Toyota Sequoia. 24 hours after her disappearance, residents at the Centerpoint condominium complex called 911 after they noticed a car outside in the parking lot. Both were taken into custody, Mr. Stallworth and Miss Brown, and uh, deemed he was the man on the video of the surveillance. 2 days later, he was charged, not quite 48 hours was he charged with the crime of 7 crimes: possession of child pornography, possession of intent to distribute child porn, and these images were found on his phone during the investigation pertaining to Camille's disappearance. Now, mind you, he was released from jail on a $500,000 bond, and it was 6 different people came together to put up property to contribute to the bond for him to be released. Okay, Al.com talked to some of the contributors, but they declined to give a comment. A motion filed in court Thursday shows they no longer want to back his bail. Brown naturally was held with no bond when she was originally arrested in the case, Miss Brown, when the two were first arrested in connection to Camille's kidnapping, but were not charged at that time. She had a former charge of kidnapping her kids last year from a foster home. There were 3 kids that were in DHR's custody. And this story made news, I guess, in the Alabama area, where she crashed her vehicle in pursuit of trying, I guess, she was being pursued by the law, and she was driving fast, I'm assuming, and she crashed her car into a motorist and a sheriff's SUV, where her children were not injured. This incident took place last year on July 13, 2018. At that time, she was charged with 3 counts of kidnapping, attempting to elude, 4 counts of reckless endangerment. Mind you, her kids were removed from her custody that night as a safety plan because she was accused of abusing her children. Okay, now, while the investigation in Cupcake's disappearance, while they were investigating her, the police, she admitted to the police that she had tried reaching out to victims in her previous case. Well, that was an automatic revocation of her bond, and that's how her bond got revoked and she was not able to get out of jail. So the judge remanded her to the Jefferson County Jail, where she is currently staying at the time. Okay, her public defender previously said in an article that she adamantly denies knowing anything about the abduction and was horrified at Camille's disappearance. Now, after the news of her death this week, he said, her attorney, he could not comment further. Stallworth's attorney said he had an alibi and was not involved in the disappearance of the child. He has declined to comment after the discovery of Miss Camille this week and requested to withdraw as Mr. Stallworth's attorney. So, a lot of new developments in this case, as you see. Okay, after she was found, Miss Camille, police were in position to send a search warrant at the home on Midfield, where Mr. Stallworth was taken into custody on suspicion of capital murder and kidnapping. He is in the Birmingham City Jail on a suicide watch, which was for Tuesday through Thursday. Okay, little is known about him. He does have family in the area, and at the time when he was arrested, he was staying at someone's home at that time, which was on Tuesday night. He, in the mid-2000s, lived in Pensacola, Florida, where he does not have a criminal record on file there. He also pled guilty to a misdemeanor possession charge of marijuana in Butler County in 2004. 2013, he was rearrested for felony possession of marijuana, but that case was dismissed. Now, at the time of this child's disappearance, Mr. Stallworth and Derek were staying at the Woodside condominiums where they both were arrested. That current apartment has been padlocked, and it was padlocked after his arrest. Both are being held with no bond. Okay, some more information. Bear with me, sorry. Okay. The coroner has not released a cause of death in Camille's uh, demise. And the chief says that on Tuesday, the family has not been linked to a connection with the two suspects who have been arrested. Al.com reports that Stallworth and his family had received threats to him and to them as well. Now, that report came out of an article last week, and I'm assuming that's when he was still incarcerated at the time. Okay. I have many questions, many questions, and many things to ask pertaining to this case. And I'm going to do it kind of like this. But before I get started, because I'm already almost 11 minutes in, I want to make this clear to some of you who have not followed the story. For some of you who have followed the story, we're all entitled to our opinion. I have my own opinion. That is why I have this channel. I give my opinion according to what I see, what I hear. Okay, all information you get pertaining to a story, no matter where you get it from, is up for speculation. Okay, I don't appreciate anyone jumping on this channel here to be derogatory to me, name calling, calling me a piece of shit because of what? I made a statement about the mother and a video of her and her children while she was filming herself watching her children ride bicycles with no helmet, and they were already around the corner before we even saw them in the video. Let me say this. I'm entitled to my opinion, just like everyone else is. And I mention that video because maybe it shows a pattern of how and why this child went missing in the first place, okay? So I don't need anyone jumping on this channel saying anything derogatory to me or the fellow people who comment on this page, because YouTube has given us the freedom and the option to have a channel, as to also to let people be able to voice their opinion about a said situation. So calling people names is ignorant and it's petty, okay? Because I'm the one who has been up day and night researching information just to bring you all any story, not just Camille's story, but any story, okay? I do my best to bring it to you. I bring it from the news outlets. I also bring it from other outlets that I find, and that can also be social media and YouTube as well. So if any of you have a problem with anything that is being said during my videos, you can, one, choose not to watch, okay? And choose to know that you can't just jump on a page, post, YouTube video, or any site when you haven't even followed the story, okay? You can't give an opinion on something that you didn't even know anything about as of yesterday. So that's why it's best to read, Google, whatever. Go find out the information yourself, then render an opinion. And that's what I'm doing here, okay? Now, that's all I want to say about that, because I don't want to dwell on that, because I just felt like a lot of you all have been acting very ignorant and jumping on this channel and other people's channels and pages and posts through Facebook and social media, and you're rendering crazy whack commentary because you don't agree with what someone is saying about this case. Well, some of you need to understand, because you act like you have the brain of an ant, seriously, you have the brain of an ant. We formed our opinion because of what was given to us at the time through the media on this case, okay? Mind you, the chief of police kept those people, the parents, in the background and chose and would prefer for them not to speak to the public after their initial interview. So many of us formed an opinion about those two people and her family and the situation because we did not hear from them. Did we have proof that they had any involvement in this child's disappearance and now death? No, we did not. But what we did was we did what normal people do. We formed an opinion. Now, some people didn't form an opinion. That was their prerogative, okay? But once we learned of different things transpiring on social media, that's when we got a better idea of what was going on with these people. Are those rumors and allegations true? I don't know, because I don't know them, okay? I'm just bringing you the information. And I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. First question. First statement. In this article, it was stated that the Chief Smith, is saying that the investigation is still going. Why is that? Many of you may question that. Well, two people have been arrested. Mr. Stallworth, Miss Brown, held without bond. Why are you looking for any other suspects? Do you know that there are any other suspects? I have always thought that the police, FBI, knew more than what they gave us. They gave us nothing because everyone knows after the initial interviews between the parents, commentary, you've never heard nothing else from the parents. And now you know why, because the chiefs did not want them to speak. You heard nothing. Nothing. You heard basic information such as visuals that were going on in the community and at the Tom Brown housing complex, but you didn't hear anything pertaining to the parents, the case, any updates. The only updates that were revealed at the time was a sighting of Mr. McKinney and the child one night by some women. That went viral on a live feed through social media. Then someone said they saw her at some apartment complex, so they blocked off the roads and went to this apartment complex that they said she was alive, but find out later she was not. It was a misidentification of a child who I guess they thought resembled Camille. And then we got information that Mr. Stallworth had bonded out of jail. And then the story kept on up until present day. So those were really the only updates that people got from the news, was a sighting of her at an apartment complex and Mr. Stallworth bonding out of jail. The sighting of the young ladies in the car who thought they saw Mr. McKinney one night and that he was putting the child allegedly in a trunk, that was a post through social media. Let me make that clear. Okay, so now we have the chief saying that they're still investigating. Who are the suspects? Do they know who the suspects are? That's up for interpretation. Okay. What is the statement that they are making in this article that Camille's mother, Miss April Thomas, was at the birthday party with other relatives? Now, naturally, through social media, because some of you would know this, the young lady who threw the party has adamantly stated she did not know Camille or her brother. She did not know April. She was not even affiliated with the people of that complex. She didn't even invite people. Now, this is from her Facebook page. These are her words, excuse me. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out why in this article they're stating Miss April Thomas was at the scene of the birthday party, because one will question, well, how is that possible? Because we're now learning of a child found in a dumpster who is Miss Camille McKinney, so you couldn't have been at the birthday party, because how was your child gone missing? So that's up for interpretation as well. Okay. I also want to state something about accountability for all those naysayers and those who have so much negative things to say about what transpired on October 12th with the child going missing. Okay, it has been stated that the two children, Camille and her brother, were staying at the cousin's house in this Tom Brown complex. You have neighbors through social media giving testimony to the public through social media that the child was unattended, using the restroom outside, No adult was seen in sight. So, why are some of you trying to downplay that fact? Okay, she was found dead. And I am sorry to hear that she was found deceased. But some of you are trying to sweep it under the rug. And the chief has, I think, helping this along with this notion and commentary of don't point fingers. Well, we're human. And in our mind, we're trying to figure out how the child got missing in the first place, okay? For her to now be found dead. So you want to sweep under the rug that this child was what? No one was watching her. And you can't downplay this. You cannot sugarcoat this. Now, some of you may say, well, you shouldn't dwell on that. Well, I can dwell on what I want to dwell on. Because she did go missing, okay? Someone was not watching her. People have stated that. Neighbors stated that. Neighbors stated they took her to this cousin's apartment, knocked on the door 2 times, then left her. A brother opens the door, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Someone needs to stand account for why she and her brother were not watched. And that's my opinion on that. And I think many people who have some type of common sense would say the same thing. Yes, she's been found now, not alive. But someone needs to stand account for her going missing. And as I've stated before in my videos, I feel like the ball was dropped in pertaining to her safety that day. Because neighbors didn't try to call her or contact a parent or grandmother or the cousin whose apartment she allegedly was visiting. You know, my thing is this: were they allegedly visiting there? Because one has to wonder. And so this is why I say why some of you nut jobs kill me getting upset over something hell you don't know anything about. Because hell, we don't even know where the children actually were staying. This is just people's accounts that, hey, they were staying at this person's house, but we never saw that adult. We never saw her mother. Okay? And the child goes missing. Now we're getting an article stating the mother was there. So what is the truth? What is the truth? And someone needs to stand account for this child going missing, not being supervised in the first place. Okay? Let me state that. Now, something I noticed in watching some YouTube videos, because different people who have channels have been doing compilations of different interviews with the parents and gossip that's running amok on social media from different people involved who has some commentary pertaining to this case and Mr. McKinney and Miss April Thomas. Something I noticed in a video yesterday watching YouTube, and this is very interesting to me. During the initial interview at the Tom Brown housing complex, both parents were being interviewed on the same sidewalk, mind you, same location. Now, many of you won't know this because if you weren't on YouTube, you aren't going to see this video, but it's on one of the YouTube channel holders' channel, this video. Two parents of the same child doing an interview, same sidewalk vicinity, yet they're not speaking, they're not talking, they're not even united in a video. And I think most of you know this because you've seen the interviews. You have never seen April Thomas and Mr. McKinney, Dominic McKinney, in a video talking about the disappearance of their child. Now, I find that baffling and I find it sad because you have a missing child. Why aren't you two together giving a joint statement about your baby? Now, mind you, the Chiefs didn't want them back in the public for whatever reason, which I find that suspicious. But still, when you gave your initial interview, you two should have been standing together. Now, after the fact, I'm giving you all the 411. They were standing right there near each other in the same complex, feet away, not united. Also, and this clip was cut from a news feed on a news channel. This lady, blonde-haired lady, most of you probably know her in Alabama, was interviewing Miss April Thomas. They had her mic'd up, she had the microphone on. Why, while she's asking her questions about Camille, this heifer snatches off the microphone. She's attempting to snatch off the microphone and saying, "Take this shit off of me." Huh? Okay, look, we know that you're upset about your child, allegedly. Because like I say, I don't claim nothing about nobody's emotions. And some people may think that's cruel of me to say, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say how somebody felt because I can't do that. You can do that if you choose. Big Angie's not going to do that. Why are you cursing about taking off a microphone? If you felt like you could not do the interview, you should have declined and told the lady, "Hey, I thank you for trying to get the story out about my child, but right now I'm not in a good space to talk to you. I will notify you when I am able to speak to you in a dignified manner." Now, that's scenario number one. Her cursing and snatching off the mic. Very disrespectful. Two, there's another footage that I saw a week ago where she's walking down the sidewalk. They got the police out there, same time. She's cursing about something. And I don't know if someone said something to her out there that day or she heard something was said, but it alluded to the fact that, my assumptions, that someone had said something about her and that night. You know, the night that Camille went missing. So I thought to myself, you have the police outside, you have various neighbors and strangers outside. Why are you cursing and talking loud when there are eyewitnesses out here? Don't you have some dignity about yourself? I mean, even if you hear something or someone says something in earshot or directly to you, that's not the time to be acting ignorant. because those people are out there with their cameras filming. I noticed that with some of the newscasters. They were filming live feeds from their cell phones, and you had people out there reporting the story of your child. So you see, what the hell was going on with her? And I'm just keeping this 100 to you because some of you have not seen this footage. I just came across it yesterday on YouTube on someone's channel of that interview and the process that time, and finding out that, hey, both mom and daddy were right there near each other on the same sidewalk, weren't speaking nothing. No united front, no joint press conference or commentary, which is suspicious to me, which is this is why everyone had a comment about their behavior in the first place. Okay? Then you see her cussing and cussing and cussing about something that was going on. Then this footage was cut with her snatching the microphone off and cussing. So you see, these things tell a lot about a person's demeanor. Now, one can say, don't read anything to that. Don't read anything into that. She was just maybe angry because her child's missing, blah, blah, blah. But once again, you know your emotions better than anybody. If you were not ready to give an interview, all you had to do was decline. That's all you had to do. Now, as I said, so many of you have not followed the story. Choose to if you want. There's a lot of garbage and gossip and accusations pertaining to the father and the mother. I don't know if they're true or not. I don't know. And I've stated that in many videos. So some of you can just get off the bandwagon of saying stuff about stuff you don't know what you're talking about, because you come in all of 2 minutes on a story and go ham when you haven't followed through. Something to me still isn't right, and I'm going to go on record and say that after the fact that this child has been located in a dumpster, I still feel like something's amiss. And I can still say that now because of information given this week and from this article that the chief is still investigating. So I'm letting you all know that. So when you want to start talking crazy to different people on social media and news outlets and news pages, this is why people still feel like something is amiss and something is still funky with this case, because the police has stated that they are still investigating this child's disappearance and murder, even after the fact of 2 people being charged with capital murder for her disappearance and murder. That's my update. Tell me what you think. Drop your comments below. All I can say is rest easy, Miss Cupcake. You're in the hands of the angels now, and you're with the Father, and He knows all and He knows well about everything. And I'm praying that a final resolution will transpire with this case so we can talk about something else, because I know it's going to be a winded situation with something else coming up and deriving pertaining to this case. Because see, many of you probably thought, well, this is the end of it. They've arrested the people. But as you see, still an ongoing investigation. I don't know what else could jump out of a bag, but I'm sure it won't be nice. I'm sure of that. Thanks for listening, sharing. Thanks for commenting. I appreciate that. I thank you, my new subscribers. I really do appreciate that. I try to be dignified, but yes, I can get out of pocket during these videos. And I would like to say to someone who has something nasty to say about my demeanor and disposition, first of all, you don't know me. And I feel like I've been very genuine in this video, as I am in all my videos, because it is my own opinion that I am giving. And sometimes I may render someone else's opinion during the video. But I give these opinions from the heart, and I give them the best I can according to what I've seen and what I've heard, okay? And I don't have no airs to put on for YouTube. I haven't even got $1 because, one, I just started, and just something to do because I wanted to be in the entertainment business, but no means am I on here for show, because I have other things I can do with my time, okay? Than be a troll, trolling pages and YouTube videos and posts and news outlets saying derogatory stuff and hiding behind memes and all type of crazy stuff, because obviously some of you don't have a life. This is something I wanted to do. I don't have to do it, but many of us have made this choice. So we don't need to be knocked for the choice that we make, because a lot of people do not follow news. They don't have even news apps on their phone or computers. So they're getting stuff through social media. That's just the way the world is. But as I said, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I'll bring you an update on this story as it unfolds. And have a wonderful and blessed and safe weekend. And everybody who has children, watch your children and be mindful of your children. You know what? Wait a minute. I just thought about something. Because see, I tell you, I write down stuff and I start to forget. One more thing that I just thought about, and I'm sorry for the duration of this video. Everyone saw the surveillance, I'm assuming, of the two children on the play area. This just hit me earlier. Where was the mother of the other child? Where was she at? See, you all see the things that some of you all don't even think about? Didn't I tell you that in previous videos? That sometimes what's in front of you is stuff you all overlook and you don't even think about? No one has mentioned that yet. Because naturally, they're not going to reveal the child's name because she's a minor. But where was her mother? So when some of you jump on talking junk about don't be harsh on this parent, Camille's mother, woo woo, she made a mistake, I'm sure she's feeling bad, woo woo woo. Well, think about the fact that another mother was absentee of that child, the second child who was on the playground. So now we're talking about two absent parents, guardians. So you all see where I'm going with this? We have a problem, an epidemic with people not taking care of their kids. And I think some of you get on these posts making nasty remarks because you're just like these people. Yeah, I'm saying it. Because not only did one child go missing, a second child could have also been at risk to be kidnapped and murdered. Where was her mother, father, grandmother, whatever? It was dark 30. And you got two babies outside playing, unattended. But nobody wants to talk about that now because she's been found dead and two people have been arrested. These people need to stand account for not watching their kids. I don't care what any of you say. And that's my opinion. And I'm going to stick to that opinion. Because now, even after the fact, you can't sway me on two children being unattended. One just happened to be kidnapped and then found murdered. Where was the mother of the second child? Okay. Ponder on that. Especially you naysayers. It's always got something nasty to say about something you don't know anything about. Obviously, you don't care enough. Because that second child could have just easily got missing herself. And know something else. Even if Camille had not been kidnapped, something bad could have still happened to her because she was unattended. She could have gotten hit by a car. She could have been in that apartment and a dresser fell on top of her. She could have been reaching for something. She could have turned the stove on. She could have been playing in a bathtub, running water. You know, kids do things like that. Toddlers get into things. Someone could have walked in that apartment and took her out of there or touched her. You see what I'm saying? So there's a bigger picture to this. No one was minding these children. Not just one, two. Plus the little boy, her brother, that's three. Yeah, keeping it 100. Some of you don't want to own that. You don't want these people to be responsible. But you can't say you care in one breath, and then you don't want nobody talking about the fact that, hey, somebody needs to stand account for these kids not being watched properly. Because anything could have happened to all of those children. And I feel like the ball was dropped by the neighbors, the parents. Now, maybe this girl, Miss April, trusted this cousin to keep her kid. I don't know. And like I said, I don't know their relationship. You would assume she trusted her, or why would she leave her kids there? But see, we don't know anything because nothing has been revealed. So we don't need people telling us how to think because we're only going by what has been fed to us from the media, which is absolutely nothing. And I feel like the chief has aided people to throw April under the bus. Okay? Whether she and that father had any involvement in that kidnapping, I don't know. But the chief helped that by keeping them in the background because this is how people came to form their opinions and saw her and him in a negative light because they never saw them speak again. Now, the chief had his reasons for doing what he did by keeping them in the background. That was his choice. I don't agree. Of course, I'm not law enforcement, but I know that you're going to be judged accordingly. You're going to be judged by how you act, how you talk, how you hold yourself. Then you factor in social media. If you're posting stuff or people are posting things and saying things, this is how people become judged. It's just the way it is. And this is how people came to form their opinion of her and the father. Till the next video, I am Angela Logan. Checking out. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.